Hi, everyone. It's Ray from Ray Life Coaching again. Before we begin, I want to say something that may surprise you. Setting and following through with boundaries is one of the most vulnerable things you can do. Yes, I said it. That's why it's so hard. It's not weak. It's completely brave. It's crazy strong. But once you do it, all your fears of abandonment, of hurting others, of being misunderstood or left behind, they rise to the surface. And it's exactly where the learning begins. My voice is still a little scratchy. I've been under the weather, but I'm here because I need to share something powerful with you. This week, I had a moment where I felt like I had failed, a moment where my boundaries weren't expressed the way I wanted. But what came out of that moment was freedom. Why are you talking to me about flashcards? And it's because it's kind of I guess, partially the outcome, but not. It's like the middle of this story. So flashcards. Okay, so they're not the school kind, but the kind that will help you navigate through emotional territory and actually train your nervous system to show up with confidence. Here's what happened. Here's my story. I ran into someone I had previously told I wasn't ready to reconnect with until there was meaningful closure and repair to the previous connection we had. And I had been very clear I needed a real conversation and ideally an apology before engaging socially with them. But there I was unexpectedly at the same event with my other partner, and boom, this person walks right up and engages with us, starts talking to my partner. And I froze. I smiled. Of course, I gave them a hug and, said it was okay. I did all the right things to stay polite, but I really left feeling shaky, insecure, and honestly really angry. And I probably took it out in some way toward them, but I was angry with myself. That night, I couldn't sleep. My stomach was in knots, and I replayed the whole scene in my head and felt like I had lost myself in the moment. But instead of spiraling deeper into shame and blame, I turned to my confidence toolkit. And more specifically, the flashcards I've started creating for situations exactly like this. And that's why we're talking about flashcards. So this is how it works. Each flashcard has a scenario on the front, something like, if they approach me unexpectedly in public. Okay, so I'm going to show you a flashcard. Of course, it's probably backwards for you, but so on one side, you see the scenario, right? And on the bottom, it will say what's going to be on the back, what to think about. So on the bottom, it says internal self-talk for one of them. So you're going to have at least 3 of the same scenario on the top, on one side, and then these other 3 on the bottom on this side as well, which will be internal self-talk, and then a script, optional script to say to the other person, and then actions for your boundary. And the actions aren't about talking per se, but other actions that you can do if, before, during, or after, or all the above, any script that you might say to the person. Okay, so I'm going to go through that scenario, right, that I just told you. Someone comes up, I'm like, don't expect it, and I really have a boundary about how much connection I'm going to have with this person. And I probably haven't talked to my partner about it yet, the one who I'm having a date with in this moment. And what do I do? Instead of just placate to the other person, what do I do? So on the back of these flashcards for the scenario, we're going to start with an internal self-talk. So an example for the situation is I could say to myself, okay, this doesn't meet my need for safety right now. I'm allowed to protect my energy and my connection, my date with this person, the time that I have with this person in public, no matter what, right? Like I'm allowed to do that. Okay, so how do I do that is the question. So there's a script that I could say to the person who's, I guess not intruding, but coming to, talk to us. And I could say, this is an example. Hi, I'm so happy to see you. I'm guessing this environment feels safe for you to offer your apology to my partner. I want to reiterate more clearly that I'm not available to give connection before we've engaged in meaningful restoration and closure of our previous relationship. I also want to state that I'm here with my partner on a date and I don't want to interrupt that. I'd ask you right now to give us some space now. I love and care for you. And this is all I can give until we come to terms with some sort of organized repair and closure. Or, hi, I'm not available for conversation right now. I'd like to keep this space clear. See you later. It could be as descriptive as you want. It could be really simple. It really matters what kind of connection you have with this person, right? This all has to do with you. Okay, so you've asked for something. And, the last one, you really haven't asked for something. You haven't said, hey, I really need for you to leave, you know? And let's say they don't, right? There's that. So actions are the third card. So we did, the first card was internal self-talk, like how you deal with your own emotions. So we got to start there. You can't just start with a script unless your emotional regulation has already began, like you're already in rest and digest. That's the work really for you to do. This other stuff will only come really well if you have done that. However, you can still do the other stuff. You could pull out your card. Maybe you have cards with you, and you can be like, you can do this totally not well. But the fact is that you're doing it, right? This is practice. Okay, so actions is the third card would be turn to your partner that you're with and say, hey, love, I need to speak to you. Them coming over and expecting connection is just not okay with me. A quick hello is fine, but anything more is beyond what I can give right now. How do you feel if I let them know? And if you're not willing to give us, and if they're not willing to give us space, I'm going to want to leave. Will you be okay to come with me? So step away, signal your partner. That could be another thing that you do, or remove yourself entirely. So there are things that you can do. You don't absolutely have to say anything to this person who's come up. You can literally just, say, hey, partner, I really want to leave now. And you can just leave. That in itself can be an explanation to the person. It really matters upon how you feel and your own desire to stand up for yourself and how good your nervous system is in the moment. Maybe all you can do is look at your partner and say, let's go. That moment that felt like failure, it became data. It became the exact material I used to build my next flashcard, right? And let me tell you, the relief I felt from writing it down to really explore what could I do, speaking the words out loud and practicing them even once, it was a kind of liberation that I think you really desire too. I'm guessing you have cycles that happen in your body, life, and mind that you want to stop. So it was like reminding my body, you're not powerless, right? You want to feel stronger. You do have a choice and you're learning. So whenever you feel failure, that's a great mantra to say. You're not powerless. You do have a choice and you're learning. The truth is, we all get thrown off sometimes, especially when our boundaries are new or still tender. That's why we need tools that don't just live in our heads, but live in our hands, like embodied. But to get there, you have to practice something we can touch. Sometimes printing it out is helpful, or maybe it's on your phone, and this is something I want to provide you is some real ways that are customized to you that you can grab when you're feeling not so sure and completely shaky. Okay, that's what these flashcards have become for me, mini practice partners. And here's something important to know. Creating these flashcards is not just a cognitive exercise, it's an emotional one. You'll likely need to go through some emotional regulation work as you create them. I recommend using the ban and bias key I teach. They're foundational tools that, they're in the confidence toolkit that help you uncover the root of your reactions and shift your patterns. You can find a full explanation of them on my YouTube channel in the live section. Just go to youtube.com/the @Ray Life Coaching in the live video section, as I stated before. If you want clear, direct, and free guidance to get started, you can also sign up for the free confidence toolkit for people pleasers at raylifecoaching.com/free-resources. I'll walk you through the steps and give you a strong starting point to make meaningful change. If you want to experience the process for yourself, I've made it easy. You can go to raylifecoaching.com/work-with-me, work-with-me, I know, /confidence hotline, and schedule any session you like from the 15 to the 1 hour, whether it be a recording, live phone with me, or a live video. You'll get direct insight from me. And after the session, I'll send you at least one customized flashcard based on your real life scenario. And it really matters how much time we have, that you may get more than that based on what we talk about. Okay. So whether you're trying to prepare for a breakup conversation, manage a difficult family interaction, or stop feeling like a deer in headlights after an ex appears, this tool can change your emotional life. You'll walk away with something tangible, a script, a mindset, a plan, a way out of the stuckness that's been playing out like a loop in your relationships. But just a heads up, this offer won't be around forever. If you're even a little curious, hop on it before it goes away because I have a feeling it will. I don't have a distinct time date or time on it yet, but if you're part of my confidence toolkit, then you'll get notifications via email as to when it's up. Okay. And you don't have to keep guessing. You don't have to keep folding. You don't have to keep wondering why you lose your voice when it matters most, like me. That's why. You can learn, you can rehearse, and you can show up for yourself. And if you are already on my email list, stay tuned. I'll be dropping even more tools and examples like this in the coming weeks. Again, my name is Ray from Ray Life Coaching, and you have what it takes to stand in your truth. Let's help you remember who you are. Come out with confidence. Thank you for being here, and see you around.